Fall is my favorite season. I love everything about it, from cooler temperatures to changing leaves to warm mugs of tea and snuggling up on the couch with a new crochet project. There's something about autumn that feels made for us crocheters. This is our time to come alive again, to come out of our summer hibernation. And today we're finding inspiration in a whole collection of autumn-inspired crochet projects that capture this season perfectly. We've got blankets, wearables, amigurumi, granny squares, just to name a few, and I will leave a link for every single one of the patterns in the description box below. But I am morally obligated to issue this crochet warning. If you do not want to add projects to your future to make list, skip this video. I have found the 20 most amazing autumn-inspired crochet projects that I have never shared before. You're probably going to want to make them all. So if you decide to proceed with this video, don't say I didn't warn you. I'm a big fan of crocheted pumpkins, but I have never seen ones made from granny squares before, and I am here for it. The granny squares pumpkin pattern was designed by Beth from Whistle and Ivy. And what I love about this project is that if you can make a granny square, you can make these pumpkins. I also really love the colors that she chose for her pumpkins, and that we no longer just have to use those traditional colors like the orange, the red, the brown, and the yellows. Now we can incorporate colors like teal, coral, plum, ivory, and even gray. Beth used a worsted weight yarn for her pumpkins, but she states in the pattern that you can use whatever weight yarn you already have. I love a good stash buster project like this. If you're enjoying today's video and you want to stay in the loop, make sure to sign up for my weekly-ish newsletter. It's the first place I share updates, behind-the-scenes projects, sneak peeks to new designs, and anything extra that doesn't make it into the videos. It's cozy, low pressure, and I would love for you to be a part of it. You'll find a link to sign up in the description box below. One of my favorite crochet blanket designers is Made by Anita Crochet. She has the coziest, most beautiful projects, and I fell head over heels in love with her blanket Tea with Granny. And although this isn't technically considered an autumn project, I feel like it embodies everything that autumn is about. It's warm, it's cozy, and I love that rose, mustard, and cream colors with those granny squares. Our family is expecting a new baby, and my sister-in-law is due in early October with her second baby, but it is the first girl in our family in 28 years. My second daughter, Caroline, was the last girl born in our family, and we're finally getting another one, and there have been 6 boys in between. I just bought the pattern. Anita is using a DK weight yarn for this project, but she also states in the pattern that you can use whatever yarn you have already in your stash. I have a lot of Stylecraft Special DK, and it's one of my favorite yarns for crocheting blankets. And I even have all the colors to make this one. But if you're looking for something a little more spooky, make sure to check out her Halloween Dreams pattern. This one looks like it would be so much fun to make. Fall always feels like the perfect time to learn something new. I don't know if it's that back to school energy, but it always has me itching to pick up new skills. And one of my favorite things about crochet is that we get to learn from the comfort of our own couches. And you won't hear any complaints from me. And that's why I'm so excited to be partnering with Craftsy, which is an online learning platform full of amazing crochet classes. In fact, they have over 2,000 creative classes in so many different areas like knitting, crochet, sewing, and quilting, just to name a few. Whether you're just getting started or you're ready to stretch yourself with something totally new, Craftsy makes it easy to learn at your own pace. I actually joined Craftsy early on in my crochet journey, and it made such a difference in my growth as a crocheter. And one of my favorite classes is Next Steps in Crochet by Kim Worker. This is the class that helps you take your skills to the next level. You'll learn crocheted lace, cables, textured stitches, and even the foundations of seaming. This is the kind of class that you are going to learn skills that you will use for the rest of your life. And Kim has such a clear, encouraging teaching style. And the best part is that Craftsy has a fantastic offer for new members. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description box will get a full year of premium Craftsy membership for only $1.49. So if you've been waiting for the right time to expand your crochet skills, this is it. So grab your yarn, cozy up, and let's level up our crochet skills this fall. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. My 10-year-old self is so in love with this next project and I am super tempted to make it. I was a sweater vest girly back in the 80s, and if I can find a picture of myself in the sweater vest that I loved most, I will pop it right in here. I love everything about this project, from the granny squares to the colors to even the yarn the designer used. The Agnes sweater vest is the perfect addition to your fall wardrobe because it's meant to be layered. You can pull it over a t-shirt or even a long sleeve button down. I even love how they paired it with that gingham dress. The suggested yarns are Knit Picks Wool of the Andes, which I already have in my stash, and the other is Knit Picks Simply Wool Worsted. Knit Picks Wool of the Andes is a super popular yarn, and for good reason. It's 100% Peruvian highland wool, and it is a workhorse of a yarn. It's sturdy, warm, comes in so many gorgeous colors, as well as tweeds and heathers. I'm gonna probably buy that pattern. And this project is not going to take long to make. I love a quick project. I wanted to include this adorable mushroom patchwork vest, but I do need to give you a little bit of information before you start it. It is absolutely stunning, but I do believe this is going to be a bit of a challenge. The designer has done a beautiful job, but the pattern is mostly in chart form, and a lot of the construction is left up for the crocheter to figure out on your own. The pattern is free, and it appears to be available in English and Chinese. But there also is an hour-long YouTube video where she goes through how to make the two different granny squares and how to join them together. The video is dubbed in English and it is very clear. I think if you're a very experienced crocheter, you know how to read charts, or you are super adventurous and you love this project so much that you're willing to overcome any challenges you may have to make it. I think this one is absolutely stunning. This is another autumn crochet project that uses wool of the Andes. So if you're making that Agnes sweater vest, you might have some scrap yarns left over and you could whip up these rustic farmhouse acorns. This project is from MJ's Off the Hook Designs and it's the perfect fall stash buster. I love the idea of having these in a bowl on your mantle or even just scattered around your house. Maybe you could do a little acorn hunt for your children, sort of like an Easter egg hunt, but with these little acorns. My kids would have loved that. She also used a bit of twine for the little acorn cap as well as a cinnamon stick stem. I think these are so cute. This next project may be the perfect autumn-inspired crochet project. This is the 2-in-1 crochet pumpkin blanket from Doodle Pip Makes. You can choose to make your blanket all in one piece, or you can make pumpkin squares and join them all together. The pumpkins are made with textured baubles and optional curly vines. There are written instructions as well as charts, and I like that you have the option whichever one works best for you. This pattern has a lot of lovely reviews on Etsy, and one reviewer actually said that this was her second blanket that she had ever made. She was a beginner and had no problems, and her blanket turned out gorgeous. The designer is using a number 3 DK weight yarn, but she also states in the listing that you can use whatever size yarn you have. You just have to adjust your hook size. This next crochet project is going to take your breath away. The Fall in Love shawl by Majestic Art Crochet is absolutely stunning. This is a triangle shawl that is worked in one piece. The designer does state that this project is for intermediate crocheters, ones that have a little bit of experience. And many of the reviewers agree that it isn't a simple project, but it is very well written. There are also video tutorials to help along the way. The ivy stitch that she's using is absolutely spectacular. I love that the piece is shown in variegated and solid colors, but I think that yellow one is my favorite. It's spectacular. This would be the perfect project to drape over your shoulders in the early mornings or in the evenings as those temperatures this fall get a little bit cooler. The fall gingham crochet placemats from Morgan Prince Co. are giving me all the autumn feels. This is the kind of project that I could see Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables making if she was a crocheter. I love little seasonal details around the home that make it feel cozy and special, and I really also love the colors that the designer used. It reminds me of pumpkin pie. The little scalloped edge is the perfect detail. These would be beautiful on your Thanksgiving table or just to have out during the Burr months, September, October, and November. These adorable crochet jack-o'-lanterns from Christina Ann Studios are so much fun. They are giving vintage Halloween and I love it so much. The designer recommends using a number 5 bulky weight yarn like Lion Brand Hue and Me, but I imagine that you could use many different weight yarns, and I love a stash buster like this. Although I love that we can use all the different colors for fall projects, I do have a soft spot in my heart for classic colors. I love that the designer is using that muted orange. It's a vintagey, rusty, almost brown color. The pattern is recommended for intermediate crocheters, and you have a choice to make it in 2 different sizes. There are charts as well as step-by-step photos to help you along the way. The Granny Mushroom Pillow by Sister Stitch Co. is another adorable autumn crochet project. The original design uses a number 6 super bulky weight yarn, which makes it big, squishy, and super quick to work up. But the designer states that you can easily use any yarn you already have. What I love about this project is how flexible it is. You can use those classic fall tones, rusty reds, pumpkin oranges, and deep forest greens, or you can completely break the rules and go for a pastel mushroom pillow, a Halloween theme with blacks and oranges and purples, or even rainbow for a whimsical twist. And the best part, it can double as home decor or even a squishy, lovey toy for a child. It's got that cozy cottage vibe with just the right amount of quirkiness. Sticking with the mushroom theme, we have the Toadstool Crochet Dishcloths by Velvet Bramble. This one is one of my favorites. These are so cute and full of autumn charm. I mean, that classic red cap with the white polka dot just feels like it came out of a storybook. These are going to make the perfect seasonal accent in your kitchen this fall, or even a whimsical hostess gift tucked in with a fall candle and some homemade goodies. I would love to receive something like that. But I think you could use these for more than just dishcloths. They would make adorable fall coasters. You could string them together for an autumn garland, but you could also join them together to make the most amazing toadstool blanket. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be amazing? The designer recommends using an Aran/worsted weight cotton yarn, and one of my favorites is Comfy from We Crochet. It's 75% Pima cotton and 25% acrylic. It looks like a cotton yarn, but it also has that softness and a little stretch from the acrylic. It's really one of my favorites. I never knew that I needed a chicken to snuggle, but after seeing Cooper the chicken snuggler, I need him in my life. First of all, he is ridiculously adorable. He's round, squishy, and full of personality. Sounds a little bit like me. And the best part is that the updated pattern is low sew. Woohoo! You get all the cuteness without having to spend a lot of time sewing on all of those little pieces, and it makes it so much faster to finish. He's designed with a number 6 super bulky yarn like Bernat Blanket or Premier Basics Chenille. That super bulky yarn also means that this is going to work up quickly, and he's going to be a big boy. Perfect for kids, gifts, or even as a cozy couch buddy. I've not been shy about my childhood obsession with Little House on the Prairie, and when I saw this pattern, I knew I had to include it. Ma's Prairie Shawl is absolutely stunning. This pattern was written so that you could channel your inner Caroline Ingalls, aka Ma, or even give a little nod to Outlander with that timeless rustic look. And I love how versatile it is. You can throw it on over a dress like she has done in these gorgeous photos. You could also wear it like a blanket scarf, a pair of jeans, and some cute boots, or you could even wear it with your pajamas on a chilly evening with a book and a warm cup of tea. That sounds like heaven. The designer recommends a number 4 worsted weight yarn like Lion Brand jeans. And the sample color she chose is absolute perfection for fall. It has that warm rustic charm that makes you want to just head out for a walk in the chilly autumn air. One of my favorite amigurumi designers is Jan Schenkel from Animal Friends of Pika-Pow, and Rita Fox is the perfect fall amigurumi project. Rita is the cutest little fox, complete with removable boots, a dress, and a cozy scarf. Those are the kind of details that I absolutely love for amigurumi, and I think that many kids and even some adults love that interactive play by changing the clothes. The pattern is free on the Hobbii website, and I recently tested out the brand new yarn that is a collaboration between Hobbii and Jan Schenkel called Pika-Pow Cotton 87. This is a gorgeous 100% matte cotton that is perfect for amigurumi. But what I especially love about this yarn is that it comes in Yarn's signature Peek-a-Pow color palette. These colors are warm, playful, and slightly retro. And they also mix together so well that any combination you put together is going to look amazing. Get ready to be blown away by this next project. When I first saw the Forager Rana and shawl, I had to double check to make sure that it was crochet and not knit. But this gorgeous wrap was designed by Natalia Kononova, and it's using overlay mosaic crochet. This is the perfect fall wardrobe piece that is going to make a statement. She's using a number 3 DK weight yarn, and she recommends 3 different Shapias brands. But for me, the most important part is choosing the right colors for this project. I learned a lot about how to choose colors for contrast when I was learning knitted color work. For a project like this, you really want some contrast so that design really pops. I think the designer has chosen the most gorgeous color combination here, and I also have an entire video called The Big Mistake Most Crocheters Make When Choosing Colors, and I go through a lot of different tips and tricks that I have learned for choosing colors for crochet projects. And I'll leave a link for it in the description box below. The beginning of summer in North Carolina is marked by the sunflowers just showing off. And that's why this next project is so special, and it was designed by one of my favorite crochet designers, Mallory from Not a Crawl Crochet. I don't think I have ever seen a project designed by Mallory that I didn't instantly love, and this one is no exception. Her autumn sunflower hexie blanket is an absolute stunner. Each hexagon is a little sunflower in bloom, and when they're joined together, the effect is breathtaking. It's like a whole field of flowers captured in yarn. I love how these colors look together, bringing out that perfect end of summer, early fall vibe. It's warm and cheerful, and a little nod to those last warm days before the temperatures get cooler and the leaves start to turn. Mallory has worked this blanket up in a DK yarn, and I think that's what's going to give this project that gorgeous drape and softness. I love the colors that Mallory chose, especially that dark background. That's what gives this such a fall autumn feel. I think if you put that on a light background, it would still be beautiful, but I love that moodiness with that dark color. This next project is an absolute must for any autumn-themed crochet collection. The Autumn Rhapsody shawl, designed by Tanya Bush of Nana's Crafty Home, is basically fall wrapped in yarn. The colors, the motifs, the stitches. Okay, let me take a breath, but truly this is one of my favorites. But what I love about this one is that it's a full stitch sampler. You won't just be making a shawl, you're actually going to be learning and practicing different crochet stitches. Each section flows into the next, and it keeps this project interesting from start to finish, and in the end you're going to have a stunning project, but you're probably going to learn so many new stitches. And Tanya has thought of everything. There's a full photo tutorial as well as video tutorials for some of the trickier stitches. This next pattern is everything I want in a fall crochet project. The Stars Aligned Crocheted Quilts is one of my favorites from this entire collection. And I know that I say that about every single one, but I love this one. And honestly, nothing feels more like autumn to me than curling up under a cozy quilt. I've mentioned this in past videos, but earlier this year, I attended the largest craft trade show in North America called H&H Americas. I'm here in Chicago, Illinois at H&H Americas, the largest yarn and craft industry event in North America, and I'm here to find out what's next for crochet, and I'm going to take you along with me. And while there was yarn, crochet, and knitting galore, I was most impressed with the quilters. I was so blown away by their color combinations, their ability to combine different fabrics together, but also how each quilt told a story and stirred up emotion. And this crocheted version from While They Dream perfectly captures all of that magic beautifully. These star motifs feel modern but also classic all at the same time. This is the kind of design that you expect to be passed down as an heirloom, but it's modern enough that you can throw it on your couch today. And because it's crochet, you can really lean into that texture and color in a way that fabric quilts can't quite replicate. The designer worked up this blanket in worsted weight yarn, but I can imagine that you could do this with so many different weights and use up your scraps. It will be gorgeous. Let's get back to the wearables, and this next one from Wool and the Gang, oh my goodness, I would wear this every single day. The groove sweater pattern is the perfect autumnal wardrobe piece. It's stylish, modern, but oh so comfy. That is a necessity for me. I am all about the comfort. I especially love that it's cropped, and I feel like that's a very flattering silhouette on so many different body types, but I also love this ripple stitch detail, and it adds such a gorgeous texture. It looks elevated, but still handmade in the best way possible. And they've designed this project using a worsted weight cotton, which is perfect for those of us who live in warmer climates. One day it's 90 and the next day it's 60. You never know what you're going to get in the fall here in North Carolina. But that cotton is going to keep it breathable and lightweight so that you don't become overheated, because at my age, overheating is the absolute worst. And because this stitch pattern is so versatile, you could make this up in so many different color combinations. You could do this in neutrals, bold colors, or you could go for classic autumn. I think this is the kind of project that bridges that gap between the seasons, and I could see you wanting to reach for it all throughout the year. One of my favorite things is when crochet designers give their patterns charming, whimsical names, and this is true for our next project. The goldfinch sweater perfectly captures that autumn vibe, especially in that warm mustard color. I love it. But honestly, my favorite part of this sweater is the bobbles. I just love a good crocheted bobble. It adds so much texture, it adds interest, and they also look incredible with wearables, and let's just be honest, they are so satisfying to make. The designer notes that this project is good for advanced beginners, and what I love is that this project looks so much more complex, but it's not. You get that expensive boutique handmade look without having to spend years learning how to make something. The pattern is written for worsted weight yarns, but Haley also includes a note for how to adapt the pattern for different yarn weights. And this gives you the freedom to completely customize the project. I think this is one of those sweaters that once you make one, you're going to immediately want it in 3 different colors. I can't seem to get away from the crocheted quilt look, so I had to include the Days Between blanket from Premier Yarns. This one does have a similar vibe to the Stars Aligned blanket, but this one does have larger stars, and I do think that this gives it a bolder, more modern look. What's really fun about this project is that they've chosen 2 different yarns, the Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted and the Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted Painterly. The Painterly yarn gives it that variegated, hand-dyed style, but the solids from the Everyday Worsted really makes those stars shine. No pun intended. I really love that mix of the solids and the variegated. I think it gives this blanket so much interest. I've used the Anti-Pilling Everyday Worsted, and one of the things that I love about it is that anti-pilling feature, and I think especially for a blanket that's going to be used a lot, that is a feature that is very beneficial. I hope you enjoyed today's video and that you found tons of autumn-inspired crochet inspiration, but I do hope that your future to make list doesn't get too long. But let us know in the comment section what is your favorite project to make during the fall. We would all love to hear from you. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Stay safe and happy stitching.